This week on Pivot with Purpose.
And I'm friends with my director and my boss at this point, and her name's Danielle. And so Michaela's filling out a scholarship application, and they're like, name of your parents' employer. And she put Danielle. I said, baby.
You don't know where your mama works?
Right. They looking for the name of the company. Plus, let's say Danielle was my actual, I work, she owns the company. How they gonna find Danielle?
Welcome back to another episode of Pivot. Thank you for showing up yet again. I showed up, you show up. So one thing about y'all, you definitely show up every single week and send me messages about it. But if you haven't left a review, this is my time where I tell you to please do so, because I think it takes even more work for you to, I'm over here not prepared. I think it takes even more work for you to DM me or find a way to message me somehow to tell me what you thought about the episode than it takes for you to go on Apple and leave me a review. And that would be, then I'm going to talk about you. I'm really going to find you to be like, yo, thank you so much for doing that. And one person that I'm going to bring up today, I know I saw it. Hold on. I was not prepared. I usually am. I promise I am. But I like to call out, and point out who has left a review for me, because I do watch them when they come in and I see them. Oh, I have a few actually. Which one should I choose? Tell me, and I'll tell you why. We've been having it's like virtual wind down Wednesdays. So we hang out on Wednesdays because we're going to Tulum. Uh-huh. So, but whether you want to go to Tulum or not, we go and hang out because I kind of want to know who are going to be there. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Before you go on a trip with somebody. So we've been doing this wind down Wednesdays every 2 weeks. So Thelmy's been showing up. And she's amazing. So she left a review and she says, rawness, realness, and so relatable. Definitely my go-to pod to listen to. My name is Thelmy's and at Grow with Guri on IG. The best thing I started implementing in my Monday routine is listening to Pivot with Purpose. I'm so grateful, and she put 2 L's, she's full, for Carla and the community she has created. Every episode leaves me feeling so empowered and motivated to keep going and to keep doing all the things. Since listening, I've showed up more fiercely and intentionally in the things that I do. So thank you, Carla. She's really been putting in the work. Because she be best. I don't know her. I've never met her. It's been maybe a month.
You didn't pay for this?
I didn't pay for this. It was like a month ago. I realized she had been DMing me for a really long time. And I finally saw her DMs. And she also sent an email. Mm-hmm. She sent an email, left her @name, and that's how I found she had been DMing me. So she says, I literally feel like we're friends and look forward to Mondays so much. Keep being amazing.
Oh, I love that.
I know. 2 things with this. She looks forward to Mondays. And when you do this, and more of you do this, it reminds me to show up. So I'm in the studio right now on a day that I'm like, I feel drained. I'm completely burnt out. But I still show up because I see things like she just did this on Tuesday. So I'm like, I gotta show up,
you
right?
Gotta show up,
I gotta show up. Now I had someone that was supposed to be showing up with me for the past 5 years, but she quit 8 weeks in. And so she's here at the pod with me. So she would have been getting these messages too.
That was a shady introduction. You need to start over.
Okay, we'll start over.
I showed up.
We'll start over. This is one of my best friends, the person that allowed Pivot to even be born at this point in time. Because when I said I had this crazy idea to start a podcast, she was like, yeah, let's do it. I'm showing up. We'll be there. And she did photo shoots with me at home. She showed up to the studio. She didn't care what it was. We did it. But then I said real life people and live shows. And she said, deuces, I only did this for you. So Dexty is back.
Hi, friends. I'm gonna say hi, friends, because I know y'all know me. I'm always happy to be back.
Yes.
I love that introduction though. And also, a little correction, we didn't have a studio back then.
We had
this
a
is
playroom.
A real studio. She is upgraded. I have to say this every time I come here. It's so intimidating. It's amazing.
Did you see the camera move?
We were in a closet before.
A little bit. It moves.
I see that. I'm like, okay, I'm scared. I don't know where I need to be looking.
We were in Ayana's playroom when we decided to do videos. Those few times it was an iPhone having the video.
Who took our pictures for that first photo
Ayana.
shoot? We wore white. Yes.
Ayana took them pictures because I bought a camera I took a camera from the pawn shop. Literally took a camera from the pawn shop. And we just took some pictures in there and edited it ourselves and then sent it to Fiverr. I sent it for I think $25 to get artwork done for us.
That was so fun.
That was fun.
It was fun.
I loved it. And then she was like, Bridge, you are way too open on this pod. You telling way too much. And I be on the mic That's not the whole story.
She's not scared to like just show up and be in front of people. She loves you guys. She loves this, and I'm happy to be here.
I really, really do. Well, today her and I are kind of gonna catch up because we just came back. What now? 2 weeks ago?
What? It just hit 2 weeks, I think.
Yeah. So we just came back 2 weeks ago from New York. We took our first trip since 2015 vacation.
Yeah.
2016, we went to Puerto Rico after my dad's death.
Yeah.
So our last vacation was 2015.
I did not realize it's been that long.
8 years.
We can't let that happen again.
No, we can't. We can at least come up with a weekend like we just did once a year.
Because that took no planning.
Not much. We did shit last minute. We got the hotel like the week prior.
No, I was talking so much shit about you. I was like, listen, I'm going to New York, but I don't know where I'm going to sleep. Every time I remind Carla, she has not booked the hotel. We booked like just flights to get there. I think we booked the flights to come back the week before too.
Probably.
It was raggedy, but we had.
It ended up being so perfect. The hotel was so perfect.
Like, you're perfect, and like I always have fun with you. Like Carla, I always tell everybody who like whenever I'm talking about my friends, like if I want to have, not that my other friends aren't fun, but if I just, regardless what I'm doing, I'm gonna have fun. I'm gonna go hang out with Carla. Like Carla, let's just like.
But that's how I feel about you also. Like I can put you and Wendy in that category because I don't feel pressure to do anything.
Right.
And we're gonna talk about this.
Yeah.
Maybe let's just get into it. We're gonna go into like friend trips. Take your friend trips because you have to be very intentional. I was actually talking to Karina a couple of weeks ago. She was taking a week-long trip with like a group of girls, and she was really nervous.
Yeah.
And that is very nervous. I remember going to Toya's bachelorette, and it was like 16 women.
Yeah.
And you
only knew Toya, right?
That was it. I just knew the bride.
You brave.
And ended up. I was terrified, but they all ended up being amazing.
Yeah.
They did. But I've heard horror stories about friends. And I know that I can think of like people that I know are homegirls that I probably wouldn't want to take a vacation with.
No, yeah.
I put it. But you were definitely a person that I know. We took naps. Okay, y'all.
You want to tell them the first thing we did when we got there? The first night?
The very first night.
We got, so we probably landed at like 6:45. So we had time to do something.
We did. And we did. But we did have an issue. Didn't we have an issue? Why did we get back so late? Something happened. That Uber situation, and we couldn't take the train.
Yeah.
Yeah, that we couldn't get on the train, and then the Uber, something was going on at the airport, so it took forever to get to the airport. But not the airport, the hotel.
We could have done something. New York closes very late.
And it was a Friday night.
Yeah.
We took a shower. And ordered pizza.
And
went to sleep.
It was great.
I loved it.
It was amazing.
I actually, while she was taking a shower, I went downstairs, bought a lighter at a souvenir shop, got high as a kite outside.
Speaking of the craziest thing, we were like on the 12th floor in a hotel in New York, and I don't think the windows were supposed to be open. This one, like... Carla's like a real smoker now, y'all. And I guess I didn't realize that. She's like, help me open this window. We're on the 12th floor. She's trying to get the window up. We finally got the window up, but like there's nothing to keep it up. We're putting everything under the window. A box, smash. A bottle, like everything.
It was a really heavy window because obviously they don't want you to be able to open the window.
She got the shower steaming. She found a way.
I smoked in the shower. I smoked outside because it's also legal in New York to smoke.
It is, and I didn't know that either.
You can smoke it like a cigarette outside. Yeah, but I was going to find me a way in that non-smoking room to smoke because I don't know.
But I love what we did the first night.
We ate pizza on the bed.
Yeah, and we didn't just eat pizza. We sampled pizza because we were on our fat girl stuff. We were like, oh, you can get it by the slice. This looks good. That looks good. I think we got like eight different slices. Yeah, 8 different slices.
But then the one that we did get, which was
garlic nuts.
And garlic nuts.
It was fabulous.
It was so good. So we had like a plan. We would wake up hella early because I already wake up early anyway. Yeah. So I'm up by like 5 o'clock. I just get on my phone or whatever. You were up by like 6:37.
Yeah, exactly.
So we would just get up and go get breakfast. We found the best breakfast places.
We did.
The best. And then we knew it was the best because by the time we were done eating, or while we were eating, the lines would be around the building.
That's the good part about like being an early bird. So I'm early, but Carla's super early. So every morning by the time I woke up, she had been on TikTok or Instagram. It's like, hey, I got these 5 choices for us. And so then I take those 5 choices and I go on Yelp. I love me some Yelp. And I'm like, okay, well, let's go to this. We like, if we get there now, if we leave now, we'll get there at this time and we can beat the line, because you know if it's lit on TikTok or Instagram, it's going to be a line.
It's going to be a line. Yeah, and that's something else. So one of those, if you're going to take a friend trip, once you find the perfect friend to take a trip with, once you get there, don't stress out too much about an itinerary. No. Once you get there, TikTok and Instagram will be your friend. You look up certain locations. You like, I would put NYC brunch or NYC breakfast or NYC things to do.
Exactly.
And so much what came out. So we went to breakfast, came back, take a nap.
Yes.
We would nap very well, like a good nap. You hear me? And then the only 2 things we had scheduled was the Reed's pop-up for like March. And then we had the live show on Sunday.
Yeah.
So then we found, through going through TikTok, I was like, let's go to the sex museum.
Yeah. Oh my God.
We spent like 4 hours in there.
It was so fun.
So much fun.
Like, I was surprised how much fun we had in there because it ended up not just being a museum, but it also had like a playground, I would say.
Kind of like a sex playground.
Yeah, there was a bar. There was a huge slide where you come out of an ass. Can I say ass? You come out of an ass on the end. Like, that was fun. We took shots.
Your shots had nipples in them or boobs?
Nipples and clitoris.
Nipples and mine was literally a penis shot. So you had
also to very turned on about the way you took that shot. It was inappropriate.
What did I do? Me?
That's what you were doing. Very turned on by you taking that shot.
I haven't had a dick in my mouth in so long.
It was like, zoom in. Kyle was like, I was like, okay, friend.
You know what? I don't remember that.
We're not alone. We're not alone, friend.
Listen, I don't remember that. I must have blacked out.
Maybe it was slow motion in my mind because I was like, okay.
It could have been me too, because I hadn't touched or I had a dick that close to me in so long. And it's like, do you remember those Flintstones push-up pops?
Yes.
That's what it was. So the whole Flintstone thing was a pink penis. Mm-hmm. And I was like, wow. I haven't held one of these in a very...
You caressed it. I might have saved it in my drafts.
Oh, because you did take a video.
And you never got it, did you?
I don't think I ever... Just been at home. Fucking creep. I can't stand you.
But it was so much fun. They had, I don't know if y'all, because Carla's young and maybe the listeners are a little young, but there was like, remember the Wii game where you would have the dance and you had to keep up with like the person? They had that, but for like a stripper pole.
Yes.
And for like Kama Sutra. It was so
Oh, the Kama Sutra we did together.
Yes.
We did that one together. And they had also a game, like just like the carnivals, where you like throw water, but what were we throwing? Oh, a ball.
Yeah.
And like a really funny... the whole thing was great.
Oh my gosh. Do you remember the penis grabbing game?
Yes. It was a glory hole game. So they had all these bathroom stalls.
Yes.
And everyone goes into a bathroom stall and a bunch of dicks would come out the wall like it was groundhogs. You know the groundhogs that you have to kill in the place? So you had to grab and pull the penis as hard as you could as they were coming out.
Dick grabbing game.
I won. And my gift was...
dick.
One of my gifts was a sperm, a plushy sperm. Yeah. Can I tell you that Psalm has not let go of that plushy sperm since I got back?
I hope he doesn't take it to the
So inappropriate. I said to Ayana's a tadpole. I said, this is a tadpole. Like, he can play with it, whatever. The penis shot I did put away. Yeah. But definitely the tadpole, he's been playing with nonstop. He even had it in his mouth. I said, oh my God.
Yeah.
This is just wrong. But in my mind, it's wrong because I know what it is. Yeah.
It was so much fun.
But
it's
definitely
good to be flexible on a girl's trip. Yeah.
Definitely.
And like be open to like doing things that you wouldn't normally do and like supporting your friends and like stuff that they want to try. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like
different things. And hopefully the person that you're with has similar interests.
Yeah. I can't go with somebody who just like wants to stay in the room or at the Airbnb. Like I am a person like I want to get out and like explore. And
but you also spend time in the room.
Yes, it's a balance.
It's a balance. Yeah. Because I can't go out with someone who wants to be out from 9 a.m. to 10 p.m.
Yeah. No, we need a nap or two.
Right. And I also like to go to sleep early.
I do too. And don't be making me feel bad about it. If y'all want to go and stay out late, you can.
Go.
But for me, I'm gonna listen. I was so happy when we didn't go to the after party.
So y'all, if you don't know, we actually went because we're both really big fans of The Read.
Yes.
The Read is a podcast. It was a 10th year anniversary. Like, The Read is the mega of Black pods.
It is.
They really, really are. So we're going to our 10th year anniversary, and I happen to, by being in the space now for 5 years, know people behind the scenes. We had gotten invited to their after party.
Yes.
It was a private after party. We were going to go hang out with them, and it was time to go.
It was time to go.
And I was like, well, I'm a little hungry.
Yeah.
Let's go eat. Even when we had to go backstage, I ain't gonna lie to you. When they were at the last segment, my eyes were already closing.
Remember when we were like, a couple days before, we were like just kind of lightly planning things or talking about options to do, and we were like, wait, the show doesn't start until 8?
The fact that it started at 8, I was stressed. So they started about 8:30, and they did an amazing show. My goodness, they were on there forever, but I was already like, ooh, it's past my bedtime.
It probably wasn't done until like 10:30, 11.
Mm-hmm. So y'all know.
So for me to be able to do the after party, I had to go straight to the after party and push through.
Right, but they're not going to go right after because they're doing their after show, whatever, they're backstage, doing whatever they're doing until we get there. I looked at her and I said, I just kind of want to eat and go home. But I was so worried because I wanted you to meet them.
Right, but see, and I was in the same position because I'm like, okay, I know Carla's in the industry, to be good for her to mingle. Like, I'm going to support my friend. If Carla wanted to go, like,
and I wanted to support you because you were a huge fan of them.
So we eating our tacos. Like, I'm like, I'm going to push through. My friend want to go. When Carla said, I kind of want to, I said, yes. Yes.
And at first I'm like, wow, she's just trying to be a good friend again. I'm like, no, for real. Like, we can go. I will Red Bull it up. We got this.
I'm
She's
like, we
no.
still got a credit at the hotel we can use.
We did it. And then we tried, but that was closed already. No, but being with friends that you know aren't going to make you feel bad if you don't want to do something. And that's like, or if you want, because I know if I wanted to go, I could have been like, hey, I'll go back with you to the hotel and I'm going to go somewhere.
Or like, if you want to go, I was going to go with you. You know what I mean? Like, no
yeah, because it wasn't every night. And again, I could go out, I could do one night, but like you said, we needed to go right after.
I had to push through.
That like downtime, and then I was watching the videos. They was too turned up. Dustin was rapping across the thing. Mandy was on the other side. I saw they were too turned, and I would have been like,
yeah, no, not gonna happen.
No. Well, talking about trips, that if that doesn't motivate you to take we literally worked I went to work on Friday morning.
I did too.
So we worked Friday.
Oh, we didn't tell them how the trip started.
How did it start? Drunk as hell?
Yes, because I have never been in an airport lounge. Like, my friends tell me, you need to do points, you need to do all this stuff. Never been in an airport lounge. Carla texts me the night before, the evening. She's like, hey, if you want to, we should try to get to the airport a little early. We can go in the lounge. And I'm like, so I text my director. I was like, listen, tomorrow I'm gonna not work because I'm going to an airport lounge. I was so excited. And it was amazing, guys.
I'm so mad now that we didn't get to the LaGuardia one.
I know.
Because it shits on the one in Orlando.
First of all, there was a few zaddies in the airport lounge.
That's right.
So if you're single and you're looking for a zaddy, that's a good reason to get the perks. And then it's unlimited food, unlimited drinks.
Mm-hmm.
It was awesome. We was lit on the plane. Can we tell them what we did with our margaritas?
You scared me. Oh, okay, yes. Girl, I act like I'm over here. I've been sucking 3 dicks at the same time. I'm scared. Oh my God, what did I do first?
So we were like, oh, let's continue the party on the plane. So we got coffee cups and filled it up with margaritas to go.
And
Can I tell them about what I ate?
When you woke up in the middle of the plane? She was fucked up. She was so fucked up.
I don't usually partake in edibles. I can count on one hand how many I've had. Carla talked me into having a piece of an edible in the lounge, right? So I get on the plane, it's kicked in, I just knock out, go to sleep. I wake up at some point and I'm like, oh my God, I'm hungry, Carla. We gotta get food. I usually fly Spirit, y'all, so don't be no food. So I was like, Carla, what we gonna eat? Carla, we need food. What we gonna eat?
I'm so tired. I'm like, what is she talking about?
They done with the service. I'm thinking about I need food. The man, I must have been so distraught. I know you was halfway asleep. He gave me a box, it had cheese and stuff, and didn't charge me. It was
he did give you the box of food.
Yeah, and I'm I'm so excited about the beef jerky. I don't even
She woke me up. She woke me up you sure you don't want some of this beef jerky? You sure you don't want some? I'm so excited. I'm like, what the fuck is going on here?
From a piece of an edible.
That edible, I don't know the brand. I don't have it with me, but I got it in Cali with May, and it was such a, because you don't freak out on it. It will make you hungry, but also you just chill. You fall asleep. When you wake up, you better have some food by you, but you just be chilling.
I thought I was on Spirit, y'all. I was scared I wasn't going to have no food. I said, I got hours to go. No food. That's how I felt when I woke up.
You did. I was so scared. I was like, what is wrong with her?
You know, on Spirit, when you want water, you got to ask for a cup of ice and let it melt. It's bad. That man said, here is a cheese box, ma'am. He never came back and charged me for it. He must have,
when we were getting off the plate, you said, Fran, he ain't charged me for this box. He never came back.
He never came back. He probably was like, let me stay away from this bitch. She going through something.
Oh my God, you're so
like,
stupid.
Carla, you need to eat. You like, girl, leave me alone.
But I ate a lot. When we were at the lounge, they had these chicken and potatoes and all this stuff. And then at some point they called in the overhead mic or whatever. And they're like, we have a taco bar. It's basically serve it until they run out. First come, first serve. Mm-hmm. We got right up and went to that taco place, and I made them make me nachos with meat. I was eating like a fat girl.
Yeah, it was delicious. It was so much fun. I got to get lounge access now.
Please.
Like it's like another level, another experience.
It's a whole another level. Yeah. Okay, so I love this because it was so fun from the second we got to the airport till we got home, till we left. It was a really good time. So that trip was a trip for me, but. Like I said, I worked on Friday, and then we got there in the evening, and then Sunday we actually separated. I mean, Monday morning we separated. She went to go see her friend, and I went to work. I had a production with Ebony K. Williams and Dustin for Holding Court. So technically, if you think about it, I had 48 hours. Yeah,
48 hours of fun.
And that's cool and all, but it's not enough time for me to decompress like I need to because we were still, although we took our amazing naps.
It's kind of still working for you because a lot of the events that we did were involved in the industry. I saw you networking and mixing and making. My friend don't be scared to talk to people. She know everybody.
We still have to do a little networking whenever, especially in New York. So it wasn't really, it was a fun trip, but not like a relaxing to get out. And I realized through therapy, it's been maybe 2 months now or a month and a half where she told me I need to take a solo trip. Been freaking out ever since that conversation. I've been really heavy and I've talked about it on here. Well, finally 2 days ago I booked it.
Oh, okay.
I was gonna go to New Mexico, but I decided that the flights and stuff didn't work, so I'm actually gonna go out the country.
Oh,
I am. It ain't too far, but it's still out the country. I gotta use my passport.
Are you saying where you're going?
No. Okay. Because it's gonna come out Monday.
Okay.
Well, yeah. So I've said it on my lives, but it'd be like 10 of y'all there. But this is thousands of people. This is very different. Yeah. So I'll say it like when I come back or whatever. Okay. But I am going to go out the country. It's going to be beaches, and I'm going by myself. It's going to be Tuesday to Saturday. I'm already thinking about choosing it to Sunday and staying there Saturday. But the anxiety behind it is what I want to talk about. Have you ever taken a full solo not work trip?
No, not solo. No. Mm-mm.
Wow. Mm-mm. And that goes to show me like why hasn't anyone talked to us about this? Because people do it.
Yeah. I feel like we feel like we need somebody with us to have fun. And then there's also that fear of like being in an unknown place. But I'm excited for you.
So for me, I don't have that fear because when I went to Spain to go see my a friend at the time, she was living in Spain and I went by myself and I had to like go to like 3 different cities by the time I got to where in Spain she was. It was a very small place. And I didn't mind that. And I was young too. So the alone part, like I've gone to movies by myself, to a bar by myself. What is making me very, very uncomfortable is the word. I'm really uncomfortable. Is taking time for me that don't include my kids and it doesn't include making money.
Right.
So it's like, how can I justify going somewhere for this long, which is not long at all, and not working, not making money? Like, well, I'm making money actually because my business is still running, but me not working on it. And then leaving the kids.
Right.
Like, how dare you leave your kids?
You have some guilt.
A lot of guilt, a lot of anxiety behind it. Like, we're not taught to take a break.
Right. Yeah.
Like, when have you ever heard our parents tell us, like, have you taken a break yet?
Right.
Like, how do you feel? Are you burnt out? Let me help you with this.
That's a luxury.
It is.
But you've earned that luxury.
But I feel like even when we're working, well, it's also different because we work 9 to 5. 5 o'clock we clock out.
Yeah.
and the
you
weekend
work
is done.
24/7.
It's 24/7. So maybe it has something to do with entrepreneurship, because it makes sense, the timeline of when was the last time that I took a vacation to me starting an entrepreneurship journey in 2018. So maybe for those of you that are thinking about being entrepreneurs, or you are an entrepreneur, we're not taught to take breaks. We just got to hustle. And what I'm finding now is I'm completely burnt out.
Yeah.
I can't think. I'm not being the best mom I could be. In my business, I'm not showing up like I need to be. Like, creatively, I have nothing.
Yeah.
I have absolutely nothing. So I can't give anything, or usually I have webinars here and new, programs here and a new course and a new thing that I'm promoting. Nothing.
Yeah.
I have nothing. So I'm hoping that this trip, although I'm scared, I have to do it, and I don't have an agenda.
You don't?
None.
You should put naked yoga on your agenda.
What the fuck is wrong with
I think it'll be freeing.
You've done that before?
No, but I think it'll be freeing. Like, I want to be on the beach and have
you
the
like
breeze,
being naked.
the breeze go through my cheeks. I feel like that would be relaxing
do
and
nude
cause you to
beaches.
be creative.
By my ass cracking
Yes,
some air.
yes.
No, man. You like nude beaches?
I do. I think it's cool.
I remember one day, I don't know where I was, but it was somewhere very inappropriate. And she's in Italy. And she just sends like a picture of her out at the beach, just titties out.
I love it.
And I just remember being like, oh shit, like who's around me? They definitely gonna think I'm out here like paying for pictures on OnlyFans.
Yeah.
Like,
it's so freeing.
I don't know. I don't think I'm that secure in my body.
But like when you're in a place like that, like no one's actually looking at you.
I remember.
You realize how like.
Have you been to Playa Linda?
And this is why I think it'll be good for you, because like you have a lot of weight on you and everyone's looking at you for like expectations and needing something. If you out there with your titties out and naked and everybody else too, like you gonna be like, oh wow, like no one's like looking at me. I'm not the center of attention and being needed. Like,
why does somebody recognize me?
they're not. If they do, they're gonna be like, oh my gosh, hi Carla. They're not even gonna look at your cuckoo. I promise. Like, it's gonna be like,
Okay, so
it's like so normal.
I actually looked at some other things like zip lining.
Okay. That's a close second. That's a close second to nude on the beach doing yoga.
I'll look it up. Because, I mean, I do want to, like, okay, I don't know if I want to. No. Actually, I'm not looking it up.
Listen, I'm terrified for zip lining. Like, I'll do it, right?
Didn't we do something
fun.
with zip
Yeah,
lining?
I'll do it, but I'm terrified. But I'm not scared to be on the beach naked.
That don't make no damn sense. Sand goes in your cooter.
And water washes it out. And
Right.
it's exfoliating.
I don't need the inside of my vagina exfoliated.
Yes, you do.
The inside?
Well, not the inside, but the crevices.
That's what I feel like. Sand's going to go into my uterus.
You never had sex on the beach?
No.
You know what? This is going to a different podcast. Let's stay on topic.
Let's go back to the
so
fact
your
that
solo trip.
I'm going to take this and I'm going to give, my experience afterwards. This is my experience pre. I'm anxious about it.
Yeah.
I'm scared. I'm not sure that it'll do what it needs to do, because right now I sleep and I'm still tired.
Right.
I have zero motivation to work out, hence why this laptop saying right here, you sure, Vivian, you can't see my cheetos, right? All right, perfect. I don't work out. I ate a bag of hot Cheetos earlier. I just don't have the motivation.
Yeah.
So hopefully this will do that. Don't know if it will, but I have no agenda. And basically if I sleep all 5-6 days, I'm fine with that. I'm going to go with the flow.
Are you taking your laptop?
So I am taking my laptop only for the simple purpose that sometimes I like to look stuff up. Two, I do have to recognize that it is my business and that it is still pretty early on in the business. But I have set up my team to know that I'm off the schedule and they will resolve things. By the time it gets to me, it's a burning fire.
Yeah.
So I don't have to do anything.
Okay.
I'm not planning. I don't have anything on my schedule. My schedule is completely clear. And bitch.
What?
Today I realized I'm in corporate.
Oh, yeah?
Girl, I had a quick reminder. You got it. Job. So, yeah, the radio. So I had told this man a long time ago, these days I'm in, these times I can record remote, like still work, blah, blah, blah. This is the week that we were supposed to go to Amsterdam.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So actually our Amsterdam trip turned into my solo trip. So I had already set the dates. And he texts me or emails me today to both emails, the radio one and my personal. He was like, I'll make sure she gets this because apparently he sent it before. He goes, are you still taking this time off? And I'm looking at it like, yeah. And then I read the next sentence. Because if you are, you're supposed to fill out this time off request.
Oh.
Who's requesting anything?
Right.
I said, you mean the time off notice?
PTO, prepare the others.
But
prepare the others to take care of it while I'm gone.
I was like, who is requesting what?
Yeah.
I'm not coming. this is just a notification. No, but it just reminds me again that although it's a very different job, it's still very much corporate. There's still a chain of command. There's still my boss got a boss, and they got a boss, and it's a payroll department, it's an HR department. And it's like, okay, you know, as much shit as I'm talking, I'm just notifying you. Here, okay, downloading the damn thing, putting in my dates, you know. But it was a quick reminder that you're working corporate.
Yeah.
And again, I have to ask.
Yeah.
Or like basically tell someone
Ask
I'm taking
tell.
this time.
Yeah. Ask tell.
It's a little bit of both.
Yeah.
That I'm taking this time off. Of course, with consideration. And now I have to take into consideration the people that I work with.
Right.
You know, how long are you going to be without me there? What can I set you up with? Because I'm not just, I might work for myself and whatever else, but I'm still a part of that team.
Right.
So I have to make sure that that team is also, you know, doing all right. So, yeah. I'm in corporate.
Got a little
and I'm
a pinky toe still in the corporate world. Just a little pinky toe.
Just a little bit. Nah, it's just Monday through Friday. It's all the toes. Maybe the foot. The whole foot is in there. But it's still in the same entertainment space, so it's not bad at all. But while I'm doing all that, I know that I have Ayana with the nanny helping out a lot with the baby. So it reminded me, let's talk about this today, because you have our kids, and we talked about it last episode, we have kids the same age. They're about to be 18 now, April and May.
Yeah.
They're 30 days apart. I think 30 days apart.
Yeah, roughly,
Yeah. So we have to teach them real life lessons now.
Yes. Stuff that you would not think that you need to teach people.
Right. You think this
Or
just
like, I
comes.
just don't remember learning it, if that makes sense. Like,
Yes.
I feel like I maybe
How
I
do
don't
know this?
Maybe, I don't have the memory of learning it, but I just feel like I just knew.
I just knew, especially having them so early.
Yeah.
We just had to know. So one thing, think of some things that you've like taught Michaela lately. So with Ayana today, I'm leaving and I see a FedEx truck and I look outside and I see that she parked in front of the mailbox. And she does this often. So I live in a house. The mail person will not come if they won't get out of their car. You have to leave enough space for them to put their car in front of
they be a little stank about that.
They do. And they'll even know after a couple days, like, we're not leaving anything, we're sending it back. And they'll have a stack of stuff from a couple days. So I'm like, Ayana, you can't park there because you're blocking the thing. She's like, well, I mean, they don't come yet. I'm like, we don't know when they come. There's a roundabout time, but they can come whenever.
Yeah.
So she's moving the car. I'm backing out to come here. And she literally just moves it so the flap of the thing, you can open it. I said, no. You need to move it out the way so she can come in with her car. She said, can't she just get out? And I'm like, no. And the fact that I don't know how I know this.
Yeah.
How do I know
That you're not supposed to park in
you're not
front of
supposed to park?
I don't know.
Did you know this?
I think I just knew. Like, no one had to tell me. It's like the most random stuff.
No. So what's one thing that you think that you've taught her?
Just a recent one, because it's so many.
It
Like,
is
I
so
can't
many.
even. If I remembered it all, I would probably think she slow. You know what I mean? Like, some stuff you just like question, like,
are you okay?
you're so smart, but also like so not smart. But like, just like a recent example, she was trying to make a dentist appointment.
I have that written down. Doctor's
Really?
appointments. Yes. Go.
Yeah, and so she's on the phone. I had her like, I'm like, do it yourself. You know what I mean? So she has it on speaker, and they're like asking her questions, and she's like, she didn't understand something they said, and she goes, huh? And I'm like, Michaela, it's excuse me, or could you repeat that? But she like, huh? I'm like, what?
Who is she talking to?
Huh? Oh no, here's another one. So she's filling out a lot of stuff for scholarships and stuff. And I'm friends with my director and my boss at this point, and her name's Danielle. And so Michaela's filling out a scholarship application, and they're like, name of your parents' employer, and she put Danielle. I said, baby,
You don't know where your mama works?
right? They looking for the name of the company. Plus, let's say Danielle was my actual, like, I work, like she owns the company. How they gonna find Danielle?
That's a good
And
one.
this is like after her filling out several applications. I'm like, that's probably why she keep being denied.
They can't find her mama
They can't
employer.
verify anything.
Oh my god, that is so funny.
Name of employer.
Danielle. I should probably now start looking at what Ayana's filling out for me.
Right.
I don't even know if she's filling out anything anywhere. I put up doctor's appointment because she was really sick recently, and I was like, hey, make this appointment. But all I've been basically asking her to do is get on the schedule and then let me know what days they have so we can like coordinate. Because, you know, calling doctor's appointments or calling specialists specifically, you'll be on hold forever. You got to call different places. I'm like, I ain't got time for that. So she's doing this. She gets this appointment, but she's doing it without me. So at first she booked the wrong place, wrong times. I was so annoyed. We get there, and she had a referral from another doctor to go to the specialist. We get there, and I'm like, hey, so where's the referral? She said, well, I told them they referred me. I said, no, the signed referral? Like, we drove there separate. Like, I met her there because she also scheduled it while I was supposed to be at work.
Yeah.
I'm like, you don't even think about nobody else's schedule. You just think, like, whatever. So we get there. She's like, I don't have the referral. I was so livid because I already had to, like, get off early and rush to get here when you just could have scheduled it at 1.
Right.
And now the next appointment's not till, like, a month.
Right.
So we get there. She doesn't have the referral. And I'm like, you better go in there and kiss somebody's ass. So they will see you without this referral. They better call the doctor, get it. She finally got it done. But then she had to do a dentist appointment. And she schedules it. And then she told me about it. She's like, hey, Mom, this day I checked my schedule. Said, we're good. We have a shared calendar. Like, unfortunately, my schedule is really busy. Like, I have to schedule time for everything that I do.
Yeah.
So when she tells me I checked, she said it's good. She puts things in the calendar, and then it blocks off my time and my assistant, like, clients. No one can book that time. It's the day before. Hey, Mom, tomorrow I have my dentist appointment. Like, no, I don't. I have a recording, actually, at the studio. I told you. Did you put it in the calendar? But I told you. I said, it's been 6 months.
Right.
Where's the calendar? Oh, I can't do anything right. And I'm like, what? So then she goes and I'm like, go call them. It's 24 hours from now so we can get it rescheduled. So I get a notification on my calendar. Again, she just books a date that has a conflict. And Ayana, what? Because she's annoyed at this point.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's a conflict. Oh my God, so what days do you have available? So I looked through, I'm like, calm the fuck down, first of all. I have this day available and this day available. I give her 2 dates that are completely open right now. She goes back in her room, calls the people, and I get another notification that it was scheduled. So I look, not one of those days, on another day that I have to be here. And I'm like, are you fucking stupid? That's it. I know. She retarded. That's it.
Or it's like, are you messing with me? Like, what is it?
What is it? Like, do you need a diagnosis? Like, how are you not getting it? She's like, just give me what days you have available. I said, it doesn't work that way.
Right.
Come over here at the same time that you're on the phone with them.
And look.
And say, hey, they have this day at this time. Are you good? No. What's the next one? I'm like, you're working harder, not smarter. So I'm trying to give her, like, a life lesson. I don't know if she got it.
But so, like, her reaction, Michaela has similar reactions, and that's another thing that stands out to me about, like, how they're different. Like, it's never like, oh, my bad, or like, oh, thanks. It's always like she has a justification for why she's doing it this fucked up way, or it's like, I'm annoying for telling her. I caught her driving twice without lights on. Okay, the first time we both went and got our car washed, like, so we drove our cars separately, and so when we left, the sun was going down, and so, like, we didn't have our lights on, and by the time we were leaving, we needed to turn our lights on, right? So we're leaving the parking lot. I'm like, hey, I call her, I'm like, oh, hey, Michaela, your lights aren't on. Yeah, because, like, when we came here, it was light out. Okay, but now it's not.
What are you doing?
Turn your lights on.
I don't get it. It makes no sense. Why are you mad? And why do you have to say something back, like some smart ass thing back when you're the slow one?
Like, I'm picking on her for pointing it out. Like, you could get a ticket or die. Like, just turn your lights on, please. I want you to stay here, and I don't want you to get tickets. I want you to live and be ticket free. No, really?
Yeah. So I was leaving to the airport. I was going to work, and I was going through TSA. I have 10 missed calls. I knew there was something wrong.
Yeah.
She's like, hey, Mom. And she's like, please, Mom, answer. I need my insurance. And I'm like, why is she the doctor's? So I call her again. She's like, hey, Mom, I just need my insurance information. I'm like, why are you at the doctor's
office? Oh, she wasn't going to tell you.
And I said, why are you oh, no, Mom. I just need it because it was, she's just talking really fast. I said, slow down. What? It's like, it was just a tap. I was going back. I said, you need my car insurance information? Because that's my car. She had my insurance. Oh, well, she was in the Toyota, but it's still my car.
Yeah.
So I'm like, what happened? She was like, I was in a parking spot. I was back. She was supposedly backing up, and she just tapped the bumper in the parking lot. I said, okay, well, let me talk to the adult that you hit because you're still a minor. Yeah. That's my insurance and my car. I'm liable for it. The lady talked to me. She's like, no, it's okay. Da-da-da-da. It's just my bumper's just hanging.
That's not a tap. I'm sorry.
Your bumper's what? I said, ma'am, And her name, I kid you not, her name was like Jaquivia. It was in Oak Ridge area.
Yeah.
So I know it's a black woman, so I'm like, ma'am, I look like a newer Altima from the picture she sent me. The thing was hanging.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, listen, I never throw who I am out there ever. I'd be hiding. Ma'am, listen, please take your information, because she just started driving. If I tell the insurance the premium's going to go up, I'm pissed off now.
Yeah.
I'm like, just, can you take my information, take a picture of the license plate? My daughter will give you my name, my number, her license information. Just give me a second and let's go get a quote before we go through the insurance. Yeah. She's like, yeah, that's cool. But I mean, I said, all right, I get the hesitation. Just turn on Fly 1031. I'm there Monday through Friday, 6 a.m. You can't miss me. You can find me. It's called JVC Broadcasting. Like that, you can find me on air at any time.
I'm not gonna be hiding nowhere.
I can't hide from you. Please just give me a second. I'm getting on the plane. Yeah. I won't be back. That's what I went to Atlanta. I won't be back for a couple of days. Just please. Thank God she was super cool with it. Went to the place, got her stuff repaired on Wednesday. Told Diana, get yourself a fucking job.
Right.
I know you're helping a lot with some, but she does pay her car insurance.
Oh, okay.
But that's because she had a job and she had a bunch of money saved in the account. Right. Right now, it's dwindling. She keeps going. She's like, I'm going to the store with what money? Right. You got a couple of dollars left, but yeah.
Oh my gosh, it was just a tap.
It was just a tap. The bumper was hanging. And then I call her later, and she's boo-hoo crying. Aww. Like, boo-hoo crying. Can barely get home. And that's when I was like, because at first I was pissed. Because I'm like, were you trying to hide it from me? I don't know what you were trying to do. I said, listen, at least you're fine. Right. You're healthy. Shit happens. We've all gotten into accidents. Right. I remember taking my sister's car. It was a Honda Accord at 16 and crashed it. I left. Yeah. I left the scene of the accident. Didn't tell nobody. It was in a parking lot.
Wait, and we talk about common sense, and you leaving the scene of accident. But I bet you didn't get caught though.
I sure did.
They would get caught.
That's the fucking thing.
They would get caught.
I was good with it, bro.
Exactly.
I never got caught.
I know exactly what you mean. I was driving my sister's car. She ain't had no brakes. I knew she ain't had no brakes, but I knew to slow down. Like in the beginning of when I got in the complex, just start coasting, and there was this fence that was kind of like just gonna bungee me to stop. But see, if that was Michaela, she'd have been in the lake.
In the water the first time. Right. And what's funny is I told her to stay her ass home. I'm like, there's food here. I went grocery shopping.
No, so she got in the accident when she was not
She wasn't supposed to be there. Because I left to the airport. She got home. She's like, I want this. I said, bro, we have every meat here. Like,
she was not going to tell you.
She wasn't going to tell me?
No.
She was not going to tell me because she wasn't supposed to be there. She wanted to buy a different meat out of the different 4 meats that I already bought.
Yeah, no. See, but if that was us, we would never got caught.
I would have never I would have found a way. I would have been like, ma'am, I would have knew to tell her, yo, we don't got to go through insurance. Yeah. Look at my account. I got the money. Let's go right now. It was OBT. There's a spot right there. Let's go see if they can put it back up. Yeah. I would have figured it out. She didn't think. She hit me for the insurance information. Like, I'm not going to ask why. These kids are built different. They're built different. They are. And they need therapy. So I'm going to tell you how to get your kids to therapy. It's a perfect segue to go into BetterHelp.com. They have all kinds of therapists for adults, children, older people, whatever sexuality you are. You can actually pick it so you can find the right assistant. Not assistant. I'm thinking of my assistant. The right therapist. So they're going to assess your needs and they're going to match you with your own perfect licensed professional therapist. You're going to start communicating with them in less than 24 hours. It's not a crisis line. It's not self-help like one of those places you call like, hi, can you help me with this? No, it's actual counseling. It's done online and it's secure. It's way more affordable than traditional therapy and counseling, and they have financial aid. I always stop here to let you know, don't think the amount of money that you have to pay for therapy is what's holding you back. I actually, next week, we'll be talking with Lee Hammock from Mental Healness, and he talks about he's a self-aware narcissist. And he talked about how, he just didn't have that much money and what it took him to go to therapy, how expensive it was, why he would only go once a month. And there's where I would definitely say something like BetterHelp will be way cheaper to at least start your journey. At some point you might want to be in an office and pay that big bill because now you're a millionaire, because you will be. But before you get there, don't wait until then. So there's over 500,000 people that are, talking to someone right now. All you have to do, and you get 10% off your first month, is go to BetterHelp, that's HELP, BetterHelp.com/PWP. There you go. PWP, like pivot purpose. BetterHelp.com /PWP. Get 10% off and just start your journey right now and let them know what you need for financial aid, and they will literally make it super affordable. Awesome. So, since you're going right now to sign up, if you haven't done therapy yet, we're going to also give you some therapy on our end. Okay. And that's called our listener letters. So
I'm qualified for this.
Huh?
I'm qualified for this.
We are the qualified ones for this. What you mean? Did you not hear all this life experience we got?
Life experience.
We have raised children to adulthood.
Almost. We almost there.
Yeah, but then I'm teaching one how to move her car in accidents, and I'm teaching the other one how to not shit on the floor. What the fuck was wrong with me?
You're amazing.
Oh my God. He just fought everybody at school during his school pictures because he didn't want to let go of his Lucky Charms. He had a mouthful of Lucky Charms, refused to take a picture without a mouthful of Lucky Charms. He ain't just boy. Psalm. All right. So if you have a letter or you have some advice, whether it's business, if you have a business advice question, send it to me. Like, I'll definitely help you with that. If it's relationships, family, whatever it may be, like pivoting in life, and you just want to kind of run it by somebody that you trust. Of course you trust me. Duh, you're here. And this far in, we're like 45 minutes in, maybe more. Whatever. So this one, you can email me at askcarlawilmaris@gmail.com. So email me askcarlawilmaris@gmail.com or send me a DM. I'm probably going to redirect you over to the email, but definitely you can also send me a DM. So this one is about a cheating husband.
Ooh.
Yeah. I'm pretty triggered by cheating lately. I don't know why.
Okay.
One of my closest friends has long supported her husband's successful career. They've relocated to another state and have since had children. She found out he was having an affair. There were no red flags. She confronted her husband. He told her everything. He cried and apologized, said he wanted to make it work. They slept together, and the next day, she found messages between him and the other woman, who was a mom and a wife, where he was telling the woman he wanted to be with her, but was just waiting for her to leave her husband. The other woman's husband does not know about the affair. Long story short, how do I support my friend as she goes through this? Unfortunately, I can't run down to visit her. I'm supporting her as much as I can from here, but feel so helpless. She said she found the message the next day. I wonder if it's a message from before.
But regardless, he said he waiting on the lady to leave her husband. So how does she support her friend, Carla?
You just got to be there. I think this is just for any traumatic thing that any of your friends might be going through. To a certain extent, of course, because if you're around a person that just doesn't want to do any better, and they're just like in this rut, you can only be there for them for a certain amount of time before it starts affecting you. Yeah. But just be a listening ear. Think of ideas for them maybe, or send them books or podcasts that you might listen to, and you're like, oh my God, you have no idea how many messages I get of people telling me, hey, I sent this to a friend, and the friend's like, oh my gosh, thank you so much, this helped. You know, hearing it from someone else that's not, because she's probably like, you don't know. Right. You haven't been through this. So if you find a podcast or a book or an article that pertains to what she's going through, then definitely send them that. And then maybe schedule. You said you can't run down to visit her, but if you can schedule a time to visit, then schedule a time to visit. But I think ain't shit.
No, he's not. I think so. The only thing I would add to that is like you be careful not to put what you would do or how you would handle the situation on your friend. Try to be a listening ear and support them in what they want to do. But there's also like a delicate balance with that. You don't want to just tell them what you think they want to hear, right? But like you have to be really careful about like not pushing your expectations or what you would do on your friend. I think like if y'all been here for a while, y'all have heard me and Carla talk about this a lot. But when we first started being friends, she was in a relationship. Toxic, right? We would describe it as toxic, right? All of us have had toxic relationships, but like through my love for Carla, I was like pressuring her. Maybe even like a little pressure, like, oh no, don't accept that. Like you told me you didn't want to be with him, and now you talking to him again. Like, no, you need to leave him
I was
alone.
Annoying though. It was. It had been a lot of years. By that time, how old were?
It was a while.
It had already been. It was 6 years of a relationship, but 3 years of our friendship. Right. Where by the time you and I became friends, I mean, you and I, the first time I heard about you was when he was trying to go to your 30th birthday at the bowling alley. I don't know who the fuck you were, but I saw you on Instagram, and I was like, yeah, the fuck right. Let me check your location. You be here in 15.
Right.
I wish you would stop at that hoe's birthday party. I don't know who the fuck
that
that
hoe,
is.
exactly. Like but sometimes when you want better for your friend, you kind of like, can cause a strain on y'all relationship, trying to force them to have better. And you got to like find a way to support them in knowing that they're going to have their own time getting there.
But to a certain extent, because I am also glad that when I tried to get you to give me some information about him, she squared up. And she said, this is one of, I also told this story a million times. I was like, I'm going to fight this bitch.
Yes.
I'm pulling up and I'm going to whoop her ass.
You know I did that on the phone because I ain't stupid. I'm not doing it, Carla. I'm going to make sure my door's locked.
I said, I'm going to whoop her ass because I wanted her to give me some information. And him and I had broken up or whatever. It was just doing some toxic shit. And she's like, you're not going to put me in the middle of this.
Yeah.
Like, enough is enough. And if you're going to do it yourself, like, don't bring me into it. And I also needed that wake up, like, oh, I'm bringing other people
you're
into
doing
this
silly stuff.
And I'm bringing you into it. And that's affecting you as well.
Yeah.
So it's that healthy balance of making sure you are there for them. But I will say, don't lose yourself into watching someone constantly destroying themselves.
Right. And I might have gotten a little too invested in it, kind of like wanting you to hurry up and get there, knowing that like, oh, you could have so much better, you deserve so much better. And so like as the friend on the outside, like you have to like find a way to like support your friend but not get too involved in it where it's like now you getting worked up when they don't do what you want them to do when you want them to do it.
Right, because I had to stop whooping that man's ass. I had to stop. That was just ridiculous. Like, we would just fight each other. Like, for what? And then be on a plane going on a trip the next day. It was so toxic. He hit me, I hit him, we cuss each other out. I told him, fuck you and your baby mama and your baby and whatever else. And then, I love you so much. It was so toxic. So, and that was towards the end of that relationship is when I really started working on myself and then got so much better. And then I got got.
We all ain't nobody above getting got. We all can get got. That's how love works.
It does work that way. So hopefully that helps you support your friend. And actually, this is a great segue into it. And I'm not sure if I told you to read this as well.
I ain't reading it.
It was a long time. It was a really, really long time ago. I had went to church. Maybe it wasn't just Ayana, but I told some other people. Maybe it was Wendy. I don't know. Genesis 22. So I end the episode, talking about something in the Bible or some type of verse. And this week, it's more than a verse. Well, I guess it's a verse, like the whole thing, because it's Genesis 22. And this, I kind of just want to bring it up because it came up back in my life recently because February 28th, today's March 3rd, but February 28th was my 365 days of coming back, leaving Jersey. So that day was so heavy. Whoa, I didn't expect for like a monsoon of emotions to come over me. I was at the station and I remember I just started crying. And it wasn't like sad sad because of course like, oh, my family didn't work out and I still am the feelings that I still have for my ex and worrying for him constantly. It's like it's a lot. But also it's only been 365 days and I've done what?
Right. Yeah.
Yo, like as I'm up at 4 a.m., I'm at that station at 5:30, and I'm like, yo, a year ago, I wasn't here. I was on a plane, like packing to get on a plane. And that's when I saw myself post something from Genesis 22. I leaned a lot during those last couple of months on watching sermons, reading the Bible, reading different books because I had lost my voice by then. Not like I can't talk, but I literally physically couldn't talk. I stopped expressing myself, like all of it. So it was 7 a.m. on that Tuesday, and I was reading Genesis 22:5. So in the Bible app, you can put like a note as you're reading something. You can add a note on there. So I added this to it. It was 7 a.m. And I put Abraham was willing to give up his only loved son because his faith did not shake. The temptation did not get to him. And then I also wrote, I have to be willing to give up what feels like what I love the most in order for God to bless me with what I deserve.
Amen.
And as I'm reading that exactly a year later, I was like, oh my God. So the story of Genesis 22, I'll give you a quick like rundown and then it's not long at all. Y'all can read it. So Abraham was asked to sacrifice his only son, Isaac. He had been wanting, I think Abraham in the Bible is like a bajillion years old. And he's super, super old and he wants a son. He finally has the son and God tells him to sacrifice him, to take him to this place. And Abraham was like, you gotta be kidding me. Like, all right. So he takes his son and he takes some like, I don't know, workers or whatever they were called in the Bible. And he's like, let's go to where God told me to go. And he has everything. He needs the ropes and the fires and the whatever it is. And then he tells the people, that the two other men that came with him with the donkeys, stay here with the donkeys, I'll be back. And when they get up to the place and they set everything up, the son goes, well, Dad, where's the sacrifice, right? And Isaac was like, well, Abraham was like, you know, God will provide it. As he's setting up, he ties up his son to literally to sacrifice him. And as he's getting ready to kill him, an angel comes and goes, no, don't touch him. And everything, like Sabi said, God was basically testing you, because we all know that God tests us, the devil tempts us. So there is no temptation from God. He just gives you certain tests. And once you pass those tests, then you can go to the next level. Sometimes you feel like you're being tested with the same thing over and over again, and it's probably because you haven't figured out how to pass that test yet. So he gives him this test. He's about to kill him. The angel says, do not touch him. You know, God was testing you. And when they look up, there's a ram caught by the horns caught somewhere, and that ended up being the sacrifice. So you're watching, I'm reading this, and it just reminds me so much. I remember being in Puerto Rico when all this happened. And I believe someone close to us had gotten diagnosed with cancer, and I was there for something. My grandma was dying also. My grandma was like, it was the last couple of weeks that she was alive. And I just remember saying, man, I'm giving up everything. I felt like he was, you know, what I loved most. My family in that unit, and making my family work is what I wanted the most, more than anything. And I had to give it up. I had to pack up and leave in order for me to get everything that I deserve. And right now, although I'm burnt out and I'm tired and I cry a lot, my lashes is bald, like I don't want to do my hair, I might have gained some weight, I have so much more. And so much more peace. I can lay in my bed. I have everything that I want. I just have
your
to
voice again.
I haven't shut up since. Damn. I talk from 4 a.m. till like I go to sleep at 8. And now Psalm doesn't shut up either. So I got to talk to him, not knowing what he's saying. You know? So Genesis 22, definitely go read that, because I feel like we all probably at one point in time or somewhere, we got to give something up. And give it up. Like, he will give you so much more. But you have to have that Abraham faith which I'm not there. Abraham's faith in the Bible is wild. But when he went back, I actually ended up reading a little bit further. And when he went back to where he was from, his brothers had like these huge families, and he ended up having tons of other kids afterwards, and the family ended up being huge, which is what he wanted. So, hey, you never know. Like, for me, I wanted, you know, the podcast space to grow, for my business to grow, for my family to grow. But my son is growing, my business is growing, all these things. And I want to ask you, is there something that you've given up before that you feel like you had to have complete blind? You didn't want to give it up, and you gave it up, and you went and like found more.
I think it's something similar to what you were saying. Like, but like for me, that happiness was like represented in like a relationship. You know what I mean? And like wanting to be like, have this like partner for life and things like that. And I did finally like embrace like, hey, you can be happy on your own, or like the relationships that you have. You actually have all these relationships around you that are fulfilling you, but you're looking for this one and for it to look this certain type of way. And I had to give up that mindset.
You did. When I met Dex, she was so set on getting married.
Girl, every man I was fucking with, I was gonna marry, wasn't I?
They were gonna get married. They're gonna have kids. She wanted kids.
Somebody give me a trust.
She would, but this is not just I want to get married and have kids situation. She was bawling, crying, distraught
about other people kids. I was in relationships with men who like their baby mamas didn't like want me around their kids and stuff, and that would like hurt me so much. You'd be so distraught. Now that girl,
she has the perfect relationship. Like she has the perfect relationship for you. Yes. Oh my, I feel like it is perfect for you, regardless of like it doesn't seem the same for everybody else.
Right.
So again, Genesis 22, there are some things that we have to give up. And right now, it's like that meme where the little girl has the bear. And God has like a way bigger bear. Jesus does. And she doesn't want to give up her little bear. So give up that little bear, because there's a huge, huge bear coming. And you just can't see it. You can't see it, but you have to have Abraham's faith. So I'm striving to have that Abraham faith. Trying. That's why I'm going on this trip. This is with Abraham's faith, because I swiped that credit card and I was
excited
like,
for you, friend.
God gonna provide. God gonna pay it off. Jesus is coming.
He has so far.
He really, really has. That's what my therapist said. She was like, but Carla, you've never gone without. And I'm like, whatever. So, Dex, do you have anything going on or anywhere? I know you're probably going to be like, nope, I'm not on the internet.
I don't have no solo trips going on. I can't wait for the next episode to hear about your solo trip. I'm excited.
Yes. And then y'all can't follow her nowhere because she's not going to accept y'all or show you anything.
I won't be on there.
She just go on TikTok and apparently watch cat videos.
Scroll.
She even made her TikTok private.
I did.
And it's like 2 videos on there. So what is you private for? Is your Instagram private?
I think so.
Don't look for her nowhere.
I might come back one day.
Enjoy this episode.
Yeah.
This is how I get to enjoy her in real life whenever she answers her phone. But I am so grateful for when she does. Now, if you're listening to this and you're trying to launch your own podcast like this one, you can do so. I can help you from every step of the way. From idea to launch, just go to ideatolaunchpodcast.com. You can launch your podcast in 30 days. I do have a code. Let me see. I know I made it. You get $100 off. It's called Pivot. And you get a 1-hour strategy instead of 30 minutes strategy call. You just completely, you do it on your own, at your own pace. If you wanted more than that, like a VIP day or for someone to just get everything done for you, we do that also. But really focus on getting started to see if this is even for you. You might not know if it's for you or not. That is today's episode. We're getting out of here. See you next week.
Bye, guys.